Hey guys, I'm back, and this time we're going to be doing another review. This time it's on the Cobi WZ.34 armored car. Now, before we talk about the model, let's talk about the history of the model. Now, there actually isn't too much to talk about because it's kind of an obscure World War II vehicle and there's not much info about it. But basically, this is a Polish armored car. It was used in in World War II in the early month of World War, the first, in the invasion of Poland, that is. It was used by the Polish armed forces against the Germans. This armored car was built in 1934, which of course explains the name WZ.34. It was built after, it was supposed to be a improvement, not necessarily an improvement, but an armored car built to basically, I guess, correct some of the issues that the WZ.28 armored car had back then. This armored car was pretty obsolete by the time it saw service against the Germans in World War II. Nonetheless, it did fight and, did see some service. So, that's about it. It really doesn't... It was used as a reconnaissance vehicle more often than not, so, yeah. This is a kind of a new Cobi kit. It came out, I think, in December of last year. So, 2018. So, definitely is a pretty recent addition to Cobi's small army collection. So, yeah, let's talk about the actual car itself. But before we do that, let's talk about the things that come with it. So, first of all, here's the instructions of the model. Look very nice. Again, typical of Cobi, the instructions are very easy to understand. They're very nicely put together, and you have a lot of easy to follow steps for you to be able to make sure that you get your model built just right. Here is some of the advertisements for the other things that Cobi has, and yeah. Also comes another thing that comes with this model, which I don't really understand, is this card. So it comes with this card, which I think Cobi's got this weird thing going on where you have like a game you can play out of these vehicles. They come with cards and they have these statistics, which I don't know what they mean because I don't know how to play the game or anything, but you can see they have all kinds of different statistics and whatnot. And I don't know. The card itself is kind of very floppy. It's not a very sturdy card. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's not like you can rip it with ease, but it just feels a little floppy. So I don't know. I don't really care too much for this. Maybe if I actually played the game I'd be interested, but yeah. Now let's talk about the figure. So the figure included with this set is a little Polish, I think it's an officer of some type, I don't know. Here's what he looks like. Excuse me for the sun. Let me try to fix this. Yeah, I think that's a little better. So the actual figure itself is very nice. Got some nice detail on the helmet there. Got the Polish army insignia there. Just nice face, I suppose. I really like the printing on the torso. I think it looks very crisp, very nice. Nothing on the back. He comes with this handgun here, which, doesn't look very realistic, but whatever. Articulation, his head can move from side to side. His arms can go all the way around. He's got wrist swivel. He's got waist swivel, and legs can kick forward and back. And that's your lot, really. So that's the figure that comes with this set. Also included with this set is this little display stand. It's a little extra build, but I really like it. Let me just move the camera back a little bit. And it's just a sign that says Warsaw, I think. Warsaw, which of course is Warsaw, capital of Poland. So pretty cool. I really like this piece, actually. This could be very useful for mocks and stuff like that. And it's just a basic sign, very basic build. In front of it we have a little grass piece and then a little broken, I want to say building, but it's just a piece. I really like this piece though by Cobi. It's a 1x3 brick that has chipped side. It's got like chipped in details on it. It almost looks like it's been broken, but no, this is actually what it looks like. So if you buy this set, this is what the piece will come like. At first I legitimately thought I got a broken piece, but no, it actually is supposed to look like that. I really like the way it looks. It looks like actual, damaged concrete. So there you go. That's all the things that you get in terms of, figures and extra things and whatnot. And here is the armored car itself. Now the armored car is pretty nice. It's not a very hard build. It's pretty simple, honestly. I built this in like an hour or so. It took me around that time to build. Now this armored car, you probably notice it is a little bit out of scale, and it is. That's true. That's the biggest downside, really, to not just this, but a good number of every ground vehicle Cobi's done, is that it's at a scale. Here it is next to the figure. You can see it is very large. But actually, for some reason, I don't know why, I don't mind it as much with this vehicle. I don't know why. I guess it's because, I don't know why, but the scale, I don't mind the scale as much with this one as I do with the other ones. It's still too big, though. The figure should be about, in real life, realistically, the guy should be up to here. But that's okay. It doesn't bother me too much. I just thought I'd point it out. It still kind of sucks. I kind of would have preferred it to be in scale, because it does look a little too big. But the actual vehicle itself is very nice. It's got a lot of detail. And one thing I will have to give massive props to Cobi is that there's not a single sticker on this set. All of the pieces that you see, like for example the windshield here on the vehicle, this little windshield there. That's not really a windshield, but this window here, both two windows on the turret, and this back compartment here, they're all printed detail. So you don't have to put a single sticker on this set, which is amazing. I really like that, and that's actually something Cobi does better than Lego, because I don't really Lego. They have a lot of stickers in their sets. Well, not really, but depends what set you get. But sometimes you get huge sets and they have like a ridiculous amount of stickers. So it's always massive props to Cobi when they do stuff like this. So you don't have to put a single sticker on, because stickers, if you put them on wrong, they look like crap, and there's all kinds of different things they can wear over time. So I much rather have just printed detail. So that's a massive high points, I suppose, or is it whatever? 10 points to Gryffindor. There you go. So some of the other details this vehicle has: it's got a spare tire on the side, a shovel, a pickaxe, and yeah, just some stuff like that. It has opening compartments. The front compartment here can open, and there's an engine inside, which is very cool. It's just a little grid piece, but it does give the idea of an engine. Nice little bit of detail they put in there. Now this side door here can open, which is cool. Now I have tried to put a figure in there, and unfortunately the figure cannot fit in there. Let me show you though. You could take this part off just to kind of see. There's a little tile here, and you could just fit the figure in there, but you'll see what I mean. So if I just try to sit him in there in a way where he won't fall backwards, there you go. Put this back on there. You can see that the figure is too tall. Now I think if you remove his helmet, like this, if you remove his helmet, then you actually will be able to put him inside there. But with the circumstance that his helmet is off, or he doesn't have any headgear, which is kind of a shame, but at least you can kind of fit a figure in there. Now I've actually tried to put a Lego figure in there, and he will fit in there with the helmet on, which is very cool. So yeah. Now the turret can spin all the way around. Now it's funny because the turret is not necessarily free spin. I mean, you can spin it all the way around, but it's like on a weird ratchet, so it locks on to certain angles, like this. It's kind of weird. It's just the way it's put together. The gun can elevate, and this is one complaint I have with the model. I'm not really a big fan of the turret design. The gun is a bit messy in the sense that it just doesn't look right. As you can see, the gun is crap. How can I get a good angle of this? Well, anyways, if you look at the gun here, it's got this massive gap in between where the turret is and where the gun is, so it always looks really awkward. You have to always keep it at sort of an angle like this to make it look okay. And also it can elevate, yeah. When you depress the gun like this, it just looks terrible. It looks like the vehicle's actually been shot or something, and it's been destroyed. But still, one little cool, this is the version that has a cannon on it. You can actually, if you want to have the version with the machine gun, you could just do this. One thing I like to do, just remove this little piece here, and then you could have your own little version with the machine gun here. So that's a little funny custom you can do. Not really a custom, but little thing you can do. Unfortunately, this top hatch here, this would be a hatch in real life, it does not open. However, you can improvise this. Again, if you have a Lego figure, you can take his legs off and put this up in the front like this, and you can put his body on the top of the vehicle like this, and it works pretty well. So you can technically improvise with that. Now, the vehicle's a little too wide in the back. That's a problem I have, but that's, Now, the wheels, the vehicle rolls very nicely. No problems there. The wheels, though, in the back, the rear set of wheels, you can see they're they're dual wheels, and they're very difficult to put on. I don't know why. At first, no, they're very weird how you have to assemble them. At first, I assembled them wrong, and it just caused the wheels to not turn properly. But yeah, it's just a little heads up, I guess, when you're going to put this together. And that's really all you get with this model. I mean, it's a small build. It really isn't too much. Well, I say small build. This is like a 253-piece build. Still, in terms of what you get, it's, not too much stuff. But that's okay, because it really doesn't have to be. It just gives you the basic idea of what this vehicle should be. Also, if you look at that Brickmania box in the corner, that's because I'm trying to... It's my improvised way of, I guess, creating some shadow, because there was a lot of light. Like, if I remove it, you can see there's a lot of light. So I kind of put them in there just to kind of create some light bit of shadow. So, that's, if you're wondering why that's there, that's why. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go into the size comparison now. So here it is next to the Renault FT17 by Brickmania. You can kind of see the scale. You can see it's a little too big. I think it should be realistically the same size as this, I think. Maybe a little bit slightly taller, but yeah, this one is too tall. And here's the front. As you can see, it's too wide. Especially if you look at it from the back, you can see how big this thing is. Yeah. Now here it is next to the M8 Greyhound by CustomBricks.de. Here it is. Actually, not that bad. Still, this one's too tall. I think this should be the same size as this. So, no, I mean rather the opposite. This should be the same size as this. Here's the front. Here's it from the back. They're actually the same width, which is kind of interesting. So yeah. And here it is next to another American vehicle. Here it is next to the M3 Scout Car. So you can kind of see the scale size difference there. Front and flag fell out. That's okay. And the back, so you can see more or less the scale. So yeah, this one's a little too big, unfortunately. That's the biggest problem with this model. Still, that being said, I still think it's a great model. I think the inclusions are very nice. It's just a nice model. I really like how Cobi actually went ahead and did something like this, because it's a very kind of obscure World War II vehicle. You don't see done too often. So it's cool of them to do this, It's cool of them to do such a thing, and, to do so well at it, because, it's just a nice looking vehicle. And it's a very obscure World War II vehicle to do as well, because you don't see this. You see a lot of German, American, Soviet, and some British stuff. You don't see this kind of stuff done, which is a bit of a shame, but I really like how they actually went ahead and do it. Even if it's out of scale, that's okay. If you can always make this work in stop motion, just put it in the background or angle it, you can make it work. So I think it's a great model. It looks great. It looks accurate to the actual vehicle itself. I like how it has a lot of cool opening features that they, really didn't have to do, but the fact that they just added them in general just proves that they care. Like the opening hatch in the front, the opening door in the back, and the side, that kind of thing. And I really like the way this model looks in general. The only problem I have is first of all, the turret is pretty ugly if you look at it from the front like this, and also the gun is slightly hovering and whatnot. Also the scale, but besides that, it's still a great model. So I'd recommend this model if you see it somewhere. Well, I'd recommend you pick it up from Cobi's website, or if you just see it in a store somewhere. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.